Now it just occurs to me the microphone might not be set correctly. That is correct. Thank God I checked this. This one? Test. Hold on. That's the right one. Okay, are we live? Oops. Yes. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. We're coming to you live from Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. Wait, there's the bow of the ship right there. Test works. We're live. Glad to have you guys here. Of course, every Monday we're hanging out, talking the most important thing, which of course is Royal Caribbean. And we're going to answer as many cruise questions as we possibly can today. Starting with the most important question: how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. And my next cruise coming up in 34 days. Very excited for my Anthem of the Seas cruise. And but of course, we're here on Utopia of the Seas, brand new ship. This is the second sailing. We just did a turnaround in Port Canaveral earlier today. It was great. We'll talk more about that. But we're here on board. And I also want to say a big shout out to Becky Menken from MEI Travel, who doesn't know her countdown, but she is sitting on the other side of me. And we are in her glorious suite. This is the new Solarium suite on Utopia of the Seas. And the entrance to the suite is the best part. I mean, the view is great. But do you guys remember Beetlejuice? And when he's got the sign like Beetlejuice in here, like that's what the sign is like outside. It is absolutely fantastic. A lot of great content, and we have some amazing super chats even before the broadcast began. Craig Lindbergh. Craig, thank you for the super chat. Craig wrote, Star Class on Allure in January, getting a cabana perfect day at Coco Key, thinking Coco Beach Club is not worth the extra money as we get so much already with Star Class. Are the CI and SB cabana too cold in January? January in Coco Key is it's tough. You can go, it could be warm, it could be hot, it could be cold. The good news is the water temperature is usually not too bad. It's the air temperature. January is when like the few cold fronts ever reach the Bahamas, and it's gonna be in January. I would say this: I have done cabanas in January. The only one I probably wouldn't do would be the over the water one because of the breeze condition. If you want to do Coco Beach Club, just do the beach one. It's totally fine, a little more sheltered there. So, Piano in the Desert, thank you for the super chat. Allure of the Seas, forward-facing ocean view or ocean view balcony? Ocean view balcony. The forward-facing ocean views, and you can see here we've actually got I can't see myself right now. Like this is forward-facing. It's cool. The problem with the forward-facing is number one, you have a longer commute from anywhere on the ship back to your cabin, and number two, in the front of the ship, generally speaking, there's more of a sensation of movement in the front. Beyond the fact that you also have an ocean-facing balcony, which then you have fresh air. For all those reasons, I say ocean view balcony would be the choice there. Glenn Herney, thank you for the super chat. 545 days till Allure. What kind of changes can we expect from your refurbishment next year? Thanks, Glenn and Teresa. So Royal Caribbean hasn't officially announced the changes. They hinted at two changes, and I forgot what they said. This was like a month or two ago. They talked about like two things we kind of already knew about that weren't that exciting. But they haven't released the full scope of the changes there. I've heard rumors, certainly, like destination elevators. They were testing that out on Allure of the Seas earlier this year. So the answer is we don't know yet. But I would strongly suspect, actually, I don't think I was going to say what they already did on Oasis, but that was so many years ago and so many more ideas have come out of that. So I think honestly, we're not sure. Chris Stell, thank you for the super chat. 25 Monday chats till back-to-back on Indy. For some, that's an eternity, but thanks to these chats, I'm excited. I wish I could cruise more, but for now, I'll live vicariously through everyone here. Thank you, Matt. Chris, as always, thank you for your support. Appreciate you very much. And I always love your countdowns that are based on how many live chats here on Monday we have, and sometimes Tuesdays. Brad Buck, thank you for the super chat. 95 days till Allure, 137 till Liberty, 251 till Oasis, 440 until the Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise. Will the August 31st, 2025 date for the inaugural of Star of the Seas, or will they add an earlier date? For right now, that is the inaugural. With Utopia, they moved it up a little bit. But for all reasons we know about, it's actually, in fact, if you remember, Brad, they pushed it back. Initially, it was like a week or two earlier than this, but the August 31st date is actually pushed back a little bit. So no, I don't think it would be really strange for them to push it back and then move it back up. So I would say Not that I can promise you all anything, but in the grand scheme of things, I think you're okay. Desiree Hall, thank you for the super chat. Desiree, as always, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for being here and appreciate your comment. And I'm going to say this. We're going to get lots of messages here today, but the winner already for nearest and dearest to my heart is Mr. Kyle for the super chat. Kyle says, Matt, I'm already feeling withdrawals from Utopia. I need to get Natalie committed to our next cruise. I have a countdown, have a tequila shot, and peanut butter and jelly old fashioned for me. Kyle, I've never had those drinks before in my life, but I appreciate your generosity. We met Kyle and his lovely wife Natalie on Utopia of the Seas, and they're good. They're good people. We had a good chat on there. I've been on every night I've been on Utopia. I've been in the Mason Jar Bar and met them up there. Great people. So Natalie, you got to book a cruise. You got to book. No, sorry. You should book a cruise. You should book a Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise as well. You would absolutely love it there. We would love to have you there. Peer pressure is a thing. If it worked in high school, it will work on YouTube as well. You need to be there for that. So great to meet you, Kyle. And hopefully that's one of many sailings we get to do together. Lisa's got a question for us. Settle the debate, please. Are canned sodas included in the Royal Refreshment package? They are. When you get a canned soda, usually they'll open it for you. I think it's almost like a rule, like they can't give you a sealed can, but yeah, absolutely. I've definitely seen that. Let's see here. Next question is from Ray and Nancy Cruisers. Ray and Nancy, thank you for the super chat. Just off Navigator, they were offering 10 drinks for $99 at the bars. Drinks could be shared. Is this available on all ships? Yes and no. The $10, 10 drink card you're referring to can sometimes be offered. It depends on the ship and the sailing. So number one, you will never know ahead of time, Ray and Nancy. Number two, if it is offered, it's usually offered later in the sailing. But most importantly, you just can't know if it's going to be offered. So could it be offered on every ship? Yes, but it's not offered. And you may go on Navigator, next week, and they may not offer it. It all depends basically on the amount of alcohol sales they're getting and or drink package sales. And if the onboard revenue team wants to boost sales, they will offer the drink card. As an example, it was not offered on here on Utopia because Kyle and Natalie were just racking up the bar and they didn't need to do that. So everything's fine. Let's see here. Lots of great people in the chat already. Even Tony Diaz is here. Tony, the amount of people, can I have a quick moment? Sorry, chat. Tony, the amount of people I've met here, like YouTubers and people who have their own channel, who are like, oh, guess what? Tony Diaz comes into my chat, and I'm like, I am so sorry. But man, Tony, you get around, man. Everybody knows you, and you're all in everybody's chat here. So, yeah. Tony wrote he's still on a ship with the puke emoji. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, buddy. This is the love, guys. And he wonders why we comment on him all the time. Let's see here. Next question is from Anna Marie Myers. Anna Marie, thank you for the super chat. 28 days till Utopia. Anna Marie, I love this ship. You're gonna love it as well. And Whipple, and thanks for the super chat. 82 days till Brilliant. Since we're in a grand suite this time, is it one free laundry service per person or per suite? It's per person, I guess. They give it to you, the complimentary pressing. I believe it's for anybody in there. So yes, it's not like, I don't even know they measure per person. Basically, you get a free pressing, so you just give them the clothes there on that day and for the first formal night. And there you go. James wants to know, how do I like Utopia of the Seas? I really love it. I think it's a great ship. I'm really loving some of the little tweaks here because, for me, having been on Wonder, and I love Wonder of the Seas. This is Wonder of the Seas, like 85% Wonder, 15% Utopia. I'm sorry, 15% Icon. And some little tweaks, little changes, little add-ons. Like, it's got the Mason Jar. Mason Jar, if you've got on Wonder and if you've got on here, they're virtually the same. But I love it. You've got the Pesky Parrot. You've got the new spare tire. You've got the changes to Izumi and Giovanni's. And I love those little tweaks. So, like, there isn't like they have the destination elevators on here, right? So it's not like there's one thing that is like, OMG, it's the best thing ever. But in total, I think it's a really nice step up from what we've seen with the Oasis class, and I really like it quite a bit. Is it my favorite ship? No, Icon is still my favorite ship, for those of you wondering at home. Mike Wolf, thank you for the super chat. Wolf's back in the house. 98 days till Mariner. Welcome back. Good to have you guys here as always. Let's see here. Cruise and fun. Tomorrow is my cruise on Liberty. Can I take 2 bottles of wine? Yes. 2 bottles of wine. Well, it's 1 bottle of wine per adult. So if you got 2 adults in your room, then yes. Sorry, I should have clarified that earlier. 1 adult per adult. If you got, sorry. Oh my goodness. You think I'd be drinking, but that'd be Kyle. I didn't drink today. 1 bottle of wine per adult in the cabin. So if you had 4 adults in the cabin, that's actually 4 bottles of wine you can bring. Let's see here. Next question. Am I in a suite? Yes, we're actually in Becky's elaborate palatial solarium suite, which when you walk, there's Becky. When you walk in, it is like, you know, the sign outside Las Vegas, welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. I'm not joking, guys. There's a sign out there that looks just like that one. And it is just
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, there is Elvis has been risen from the dead and is singing out there. And it is, I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, you can see here, where am I? The helipad out there. It's all glass. But yes, we're in the new Solarium suite, which is one of the new cabins on board Utopia of the Seas. Wisconsin Jason, thank you for the super chat. If I have 11 a.m. check-in and can't get there till 1, is that going to be a problem? No, it will not be a problem at all, Jason. They won't even, honestly, dude, they won't even say a word to you about it. You're totally fine. So you're good to go on that one. Steph has a question for us. Question for the solo traveler. When do you cancel the phantom person? No, you never cancel them. You just leave them on there. Basically, Steph, when you get to the terminal, they'll say, okay, Steph, I see you here. And where is George Glass that is traveling with you? And you will say he's in Canada, but he's not coming here. That's 2 movie references in one right there. And they'll say, okay, that's it. That's the end of the story. No one cares. No one asks any more questions. So that's it. So you never cancel the second person. You just leave them on the reservation. Let's see here. Next question. Smokey Bandit, one of my good friends here. You think they'd want Ovation sales opened up ASAP since that's less than a year away? I think you're talking about the California thing. That's a strange one, Tom. I'm not sure about that one, but yeah. Am I going to the President's Cruise 25? I booked it. Whether I'm going or not, good question, but I'm booked on it currently. Let's see here. What perks do junior suites get? Good question. Priority embarkation, 2 points per night on Crown and Anchor Society instead of 1 point per night. You get upgraded toiletries in the bathroom. You have a full-size shower, a bathtub, whatever you want to call it, closet, and a bigger room. And if you're on a ship like this that has an Oasis, Quantum, or Icon class ship, you're able to go to Coastal Kitchen for dinner only. I think those are all right, Becky. Those are all the benefits.
Yes.
She should say yes to anything I said right there.
I have no idea what you said. So. I'll take the replay.
Hey, Craig, have to say the stream is great. Internet's looking good. Dude, the internet was so bad on the media cruise. I mean, it was terrible. And the day we got off that ship, someone was like, oh, you guys didn't turn on the internet. You forgot. And someone just literally flipped the switch. And since then, it's been amazing. But I'm glad to hear it's working better today, Craig. So, yeah. Michelle, should we bring our own beach pool towels or does Royal Caribbean provide them? You should not bring your own. Royal Caribbean provides them for you. So don't waste your space packing them. Yeah, you're good to go. When is the next group cruise? You know, your name is Jolinde, but I'm pretty sure this is Kyle's alter ego asking for his wife, Natalie. Our next group cruise is actually on Voyager of the Seas, December 29th of this year. We have a list of all of our group cruises at royalcaribbeanblog.com/events.
Is October up there?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes. After Jen Green messaged me about 17 times, I finally relented and posted it there. Julie Hall, thank you for the super chat. Still rocking it, Matt. Thanks for the great years of service. Royal forever. Julie, thank you for being here. I just appreciate you guys being here, hanging out, talking Royal Caribbean with all of me. Let's see here. Blake's Crib. I'm 13 years old. What should I do on the Allure of the Seas? Oh, karaoke. Let's see. Yeah, karaoke. You should do the zip line. That's a lot of fun. Flow Rider Surf Simulator. Rock Wall. Those are all really fun things to do. And I think everything I just told you is included in your cruise fare. So those are some easy ones off the bat. And my Silver for Life, is Royal Caribbean addressed when we can expect the pre-cruise reservations for the dining package? No, unfortunately not. I think the answer is, honestly, if you had Michael Bailey here, he would probably tell you the same thing, which is that when it's ready, and we don't know yet when it'll be ready. Speaking of things I don't have any updates on, any new news on La Biddy opening? No, I have no updates on that either. I'm sorry. I know that many of you want to know these things. I wish I had the answer on that one, but I don't. Let's see here. DFW Hannah, good to see you here. Man, Hannah, it's been a while. We got Julie Hall. We got Hannah. We got lots of friends rejoining us. The Wolves are here. 94 days till Mariner. Awesome. I love Mariner. Oh, I miss Mariner of the Seas. I really do. Sean, I'm going on my first cruise in February. How accurate is the time when they say they'll be back at the port? Very accurate. The time usually, if you're looking at the schedule, like it says, like let's say it's 9 to 4 p.m. That 4 p.m. is not all aboard time. That is the time the ship is leaving time. You can figure at least half an hour to 60 minutes ahead of that time is the time you need to be back on board the ship for. But they'll have a sign up there and whatnot. Mr. Jeff Burns is here. Hello, Jeff. Hope all is well in the Chet household. Next question is from Greg L. Greg, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Thanks, Matt, for all the information on Royal Caribbean. 4 days till Utopia. Oh, you're getting on the ship and I'm getting off. 3-4 days till Icon. Can't wait to see them both. This is our third Royal Caribbean this year. Nice. You got some great ones, dude. Utopia, Icon. Good ships right there, Greg. I approve. Cat DMRN, do you have any advice on finding a good cruise travel agent? Should I find a local one to me or anywhere in the U.S. is fine? Number one, anywhere in the U.S. is fine. Number two, word of mouth. You want to talk to friends, be like, Craig Hart, who do you book your cruises with, right? And someone you trust, all right, maybe not Craig. Maybe it's going to be Smokey Bandit. Maybe it's going to be Julie Hall or someone else. I'm just joking. Love you, Craig. You would basically, it's word of mouth. Personal recommendations are the best way to do that.
Hello.
And of course, I would say MEI Travel is our sponsor. We absolutely love them. And Craig would have said that too. But I had to give Craig a little bit of, he posted a very funny, yet I was like, meme at my expense in the insiders group. But it was funny, Craig. I enjoyed it. Anyway, word of mouth. And of course, I have said this, not only is MEI Travel a sponsor here at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, not only do I use them to book my cruises, but when my family, when my parents need to book a cruise, I'd say, listen, just here's the MEI Travel folks. Give them a call. They will take care of you. Tony is kissing up to Becky. Let me tell you something. Becky, you should hear the things she says about you, Tony, when you're not around.
Wait, no. See, what's great right now is I can defend myself.
Nope, I don't think so. No, this microphone only goes one way. Let's see here. Next question. Everyone saying hi to Becky. Aw. Cole wants to know, is booking available online for the Royal Railway? Yes. It's only available, I think, for like maybe the first 30 days last I checked, but I was able to book it for this sailing right before the inaugural when I was still at home. I was able to book it online. But yes, they'll be expanding it outwards, but for right now, I think it's only for the first few weeks, but they're working on expanding it out there. Let's see here. How are we doing on the super chats? Am I caught up on that? Oh, I've got a couple more. I'm behind on the super chats. My goodness. Ronnie Bickers Jr. Ronnie, thank you for the super chat. What changes or new things on Utopia or Icon do you think Royal Caribbean will filter down to new or amplified ships in the future? Almost certainly the destination elevators would be number one. Number two would probably be, there's something else on here what was it that I saw? It's a great question, Ronnie. There was something else I was thinking. I was like, oh, that's a Icon well, the water size, but that's not what I'm talking about. There was something else. I feel like the destination elevators have to, the Pesky Parrot. I think I could definitely see that being expanded outwards, especially with so many bionic bars in the fleet. At least on the Oasis class, I could see that being the case. When is the inaugural sailing of Star of the Seas? August 31st, 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have any pictures or videos of the thermal suite? Chiquita, we posted, I don't know if you saw it, our Star of the Seas ship tour that came out the other day or last week. Yeah, last week. What did I say? Oh, Utopia of the Seas ship tour. The Star of the Seas ship tour is only available if you donate. No, I'm just kidding. The Utopia of the Seas ship tour I posted. We have video of the thermal suite in the segment where we go through the Vitality Spa, and I know about it because I narrated it. I remember actually what I talked about in this particular case. So it's in the video tour if you check that out here on our channel. Nisa is here. When is the best time to catch a sale for massages, dining, drink package, etc.? Great question. And it's kind of, the answer is anytime and all the time. That seems like a weird answer. Basically, there are Royal Caribbean sales all the time. It's crazy. So really, you don't want to try to time your sale, Nisa. What you want to do is you want to go in there like right now and book it. Whatever you want, massage, a drink package, whatever. And then as you, between now and your cruise, periodically check back because the prices change all the time. The reason why I'm telling you should book it now is because that way you lock in your price. That way if the price ever goes up, you're good. You got the lowest price. But if the price goes down, you can always cancel and rebook it. And I think that's really the best thing about that. Michael wants a recommendation for excursions in Cozumel. I personally love Paradise Beach. It's a great place. I go there all the time. So Paradise Beach. It's not the Royal Caribbean, but yeah. Jeff Burns wants to know, what is a group cruise? Sounds fun. It's a very subtle experience in which we invite all of you to come join us for a group cruise. There are 2 a year, basically the regular Royal Caribbean cruises, and we just sail together as friends. Even Tony Diaz is invited to these things. And we'd love to have you join us for it. More information at royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. Michael G with an epic super chat. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate you. We love to enjoy the loud music and belly flopper competitions at the main pools, but then love to go to the Solarium for a couple hours at the quiet pool. Is there a quiet pool area on Icon? Don't see any. So there's obviously the hideaway. The hideaway is the adult only pool. I'm not sure. They don't have blasting music there, but probably the pool you're thinking about is probably Cloud 17. It was at one point going to be the adults pool. It's not, but I would imagine that would be what you'd want. There's not an indoor pool or semi-indoors like the Solarium. So if you want adults only, it's this hideaway, but I'm willing to bet it'll be quieter at the Cloud 17 pool, even though they allow children in there. RCT Fenix, thank you for the super chat. Do you remember what the significance of the bagpipe players were on the Oasis and Allure when they first released? Random discussion with a friend. If this is like Stump the Chump, well, you have stumped the chump. I've always thought every new Royal Caribbean cruise ship I've ever seen has had that as a tradition. I don't know if it's I don't know if your question is like, Matt, do you know the answer to this trivia question? I don't. If you're asking me in general, like I don't know either. I'm just wondering if you know, Matt. I believe it's a tradition, either whether it's a maritime tradition or a Royal Caribbean tradition. But I know that that's always a thing with naming ceremonies that they do that. But I'm not familiar with the exact reason as to why. Hope that my non-answer was a good answer for you guys. Thank you, Becky, for sharing the URL there for the group cruise events. Nautical Hippo, thank you for the super chat. So happy to see the Solarium return in Utopia. In my opinion, getting rid of that on Icon and Star was a mistake. I mean, this is the problem. I am not a Solarium guy like on other ships. So maybe Nautical Hippo, this is where you and I differ on this. Number one, I'm going to give you the counter argument. I'm not going to change your mind on it, but that's okay. I just wanted to share the counter. The counter argument is not all the ships have to be the same. It's okay to try something different. And I would also add that the Solarium is not a library, shouldn't be treated like that. I like there's a little more energy there. And the views on the Hideaway are absolutely fantastic. Now, I will say, I think the Hideaway needs like shade because it is really hot and really sunny. And as somebody who doesn't worship the sun, that's a problem for me. And probably number one reason I won't go there. When we were on Icon of the Seas for our group cruise, I went out there with Mr. Cook and Yo. It was beautiful out there. Like, I mean, we actually got in the pool, was enjoying the view. I was like, wow, this is really nice, except I am baking right now. And my hash browns are burning. So I need to get out of here. But I appreciate there's something different. That's the only thing, like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It probably is just me in this case. But obviously you've got this ship here that has the traditional Solarium experience there. And hey, that works out too. Thank you for the super chat. Best family photo ops on Icon of the Seas. Oh man. I mean, there's always the staged ones on the promenade. You can't go wrong with those. I'm trying to think of like something that's like more scenic. Actually, the overlook would be really nice in the front. That's a good spot for it. So I would recommend that spot for you. Jamie wants to know my opinion of 150 Central Park. I love it. Favorite item, the beef tenderloin for $2. It's really good. Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk. If my YouTube editor Jenna does not see this when she edits it tomorrow, she'll yell at me. Of course, the fried cheesecake as well. Matt Banville, who is not on board the ship, my goodness, is Heidi on Utopia? No. So this ship is absolutely terrible. I'm sorry, Matt. She's not here. Just like the Banvilles, nowhere to be seen on this ship, which is really unfortunate. But hope you are doing well. Go Huskies. Kyle says, I'll have you know I didn't drink for months prior to Utopia. Suddenly, post-Utopia, I've had all the Matt special drinks. I think the jury is out on who's the bad influence. It was Natalie, obviously. It was Natalie all along. Does Utopia of the Seas offer complimentary seafood buffet? They did on the first day in the Windjammer on the last sailing and this one. What's weird, this is really strange. For the inaugural sailing on Friday and this sailing today, they had lobster, they had shrimp, they had mussels, they had no filet mignon. But on Icon and like every other new ship, they always had that on the inaugural embarkation. Not that's a big deal. It's just kind of like that was just surprising. That's all. Let's see here. Big D 3496. How strict is roller coaster with the 200-point minimum for casino royal comp sailings? Will they cancel other comp sailings if you don't meet the minimum? I believe you need to get those points in order to qualify for it. I'm not sure what your question is. You don't have to get 200. You just have to get 200 points within a calendar year aggregate, if that makes sense. If that's your question, I'm not sure I understand your question, quite frankly. Hey, Kelly, are they changing the menu for the Royal Railway in the next 45 days, or are they offering two different options? They're going to offer two different options. Correct. The idea is they're going to slowly expand out. So the Wild West will always be there. Then they're going to add Silk Routes next. And then they're going to add other things that they haven't quite determined yet, whether it's a brunch option, whiskey tasting, Polar Express for Christmas, things of that nature. But it's going to be, imagine an ever-growing library of options to choose from. Steve F. Steve, thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna go drink a water here because I am parched, and Becky's sweet water tastes mighty fine. Booked in an owner suite in September on Symphony. Can you explain priority boarding, how it relates to check-in time for your book? Yeah. Basically, whatever time you get through the app, you have plus or minus 1 hour. So you get there an hour earlier, basically, than the time you have in the app. That's all. Pretty easy. And of course, on top of that, hold on, Steve, one more thing. When you get to your cruise terminal, you're going on Symphony, so that's, I'm not sure which terminal you're in, but there's a special line for you, a special suites line that you get to go in. It's a lot shorter than the main line. Let's see here. Next question. Holly's got a question. I'm going to answer this one because the answer is sitting right over here. Going on now out of LA and excursions for hotels in San Pedro.
There's a DoubleTree.
DoubleTree.
Plaza that's right there at the port.
DoubleTree. I'm not sure if they can hear, so I'm going to repeat what you're saying. DoubleTree and Crown Plaza, that's right there in the port.
However, because California has so many great hotels right in the area, you can also go to one of the area hotels, either in Hollywood or down at Long Beach in that area, and then easily Uber.
Yeah. So basically, Becky said that, I mean, the DoubleTree and the other one.
Yes.
The other one. Those are good right by the port, but don't feel like you need to stay in San Pedro or it's like a problem because it's really easy. I remember the first time we ever cruised out of LA, it's really San Pedro. We stayed in Anaheim and took a lift that morning. And the good thing was everyone's coming into LA and we were leaving. So there was really no traffic at all. I can't promise you won't be traffic on yours, but you get what I'm saying. Don't limit yourself necessarily to, I got to be by the port or it's going to be a problem. It's really easy to get around LA from a Uber Lyft standpoint. Susan Westfall. Susan, thank you for the super chat. Looking forward to seeing you both. Let me try that again. Looking forward to seeing you on both of your 2025 group cruises. We got some great ones next year. We've got Europe, which, my goodness, that's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so fun. And then, of course, the 10-year Oasis of the Seas group cruise. I got to tell you, Becky and I, we had dinner together. Not against my will, believe it or not.
Oh
and and we were talking about group cruise activities and things we want to have planned on it. So. Not bad. Let's see here. Next question. Is it mandatory to book the shows? No, you can simply, there's always a standby line, and usually you can get in with the standby line. Usually. What complimentary group activity do you recommend for Utopia? Ooh. The Ultimate Abyss. That's a fun one to do as a group, and it's included. Jose Rivera. Jose, thank you for the thank you for the super chat. First cruise ever in 6 days, Oasis of the Seas, Mediterranean. Any advice for first timers? Couple things, Jose. And you got 6 days. So let me give you I've got 6 days till my cruise advice, as opposed to things I would have advised you like 6 months ago. Number one, and this is very self-serving, but I'm going to tell you, I think it's a good tip anyway. Watch a ship tour of Oasis of the Seas. We have a ship tour here on our channel. On Royal Caribbean blog, we have a full ship tour. So that way you get an idea of the layout, what's available on the ship, blah, 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 blah. Number two, you haven't done it already. Do everything in the world, do your check-in. Scan your passport, do the photo, take a photo of yourself, add a credit card, do all those steps that you can in the app. It will save you time in the terminal. Number three, if you haven't, pre-purchase internet, if you want it, drink packages, if you want it, shore excursions. These things are all going to be cheaper before the cruise than on board the ship, and especially shore excursions. That's a really important one because there's a lot of moving parts there, right? Do you want this particular, you want tour A or tour B or tour C or tour X? There's a lot of different options that are there. So you'll have the opportunity now, while you're sitting in front of a computer in air conditioning, able to research and find the right tour for you, as opposed to when you're on the ship or worse in the port trying to figure out what you want to do. That's not the time to do it. So pre-book those things. That's really important. There's many more tips I could probably share with you. I mean, we talk about, European tips, things like that, but I think those are the major ones. But download the Royal Caribbean app, get that installed, and pre-book as much as you can if you haven't done those things. And then beyond that, we have some articles at royalcaribbeanblog.com and here on our YouTube channel to provide some more information on for you. James, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Does Royal Caribbean offer anything for solo travelers? Not specifically. I think the only thing you'd truly consider a thing for a solo traveler would be there's sometimes a solo meetup on board the ship in a little lounge. It's an informal get-together. But I'm not familiar, James, that it's anything like beyond that. Royal doesn't, I don't say they don't cater to solo travelers, but it's not really a big thing for them. The fact that you're solo is like the fact that you're, never mind, I might make that joke. The fact that you're solo is, I would say irrelevant, but it's just a detail. It's like, the same reason there aren't things for people with 4 people in their cabin, if that makes any sense. It's not really a distinguishing factor. So I guess no, not really. Drink of water here. Hey Matt, my next cruise is going to Halifax. Have you gotten there? What do you recommend? Yes, I have. I wish when we went to Halifax, what the first thing I did in Halifax was? I went to Tim Hortons and I got coffee. Which, listen, you all mock it until you try it, and then you're like, wow, this is pretty darn good coffee. And Timbits, yeah, okay. There are a couple things in Halifax you can do. There's the Titanic Museum. I think Titanic is completely overrated, but that's me. I know a lot of people love it, and I know Becky's horrified that I would say that.
Yes.
Anyway, what I would actually recommend, there's a hop-on, hop-off bus tour. You can book. You don't have to book the Royal Caribbean. There's just go on the bus. Actually, maybe you can't book the Royal Caribbean. But anyway, there's a hop-on, hop-off bus. It's really easy to get around Halifax. I just walked around. That's a really good way to start. And there's a lot, like the Titanic thing is on that bus route, along with some other sights and sounds of Halifax, if you will. Isn't Halifax, is that Peggy's Cove?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna tell you this much. Don't go to Peggy's Cove. It is it's a tourist trap. Everyone, the number one resounding thing with the Peggy's Cove excursion is it's a bus ride. You get there and it's like, okay, it's pretty, except there's 1,000 other buses and 10,000 other people over there. I think your time is better spent doing some other things out there. So, but the hop on, hop off bus is not bad. But when I was in Halifax, we just walked around Halifax, and actually, Mr. Jeff Burns, who's in the chat right now, can attest. We may have found some seedy bars along the way, but that had great music selection. But maybe not the best bars you'd want to go to. But you know what? That was half the fun. We were just exploring, and they're Canadian, so it was a nice time. Let's see here. Next question. Hey, Yoink. Good to see you here. Hope you can enjoy your cruise as not only work. We're doing a little bit. Actually, I told my wife today, I was like, listen, tomorrow morning I'm gonna do some work because Yoink needs me to do work on the site. But I want to go to the pool tomorrow and hang out there a little bit because we haven't really done that. So I am, yes, definitely going to enjoy myself a little more on the sailing. Marion, thank you for the super chat. No questions tonight, just thanks. Well, thank you, Marion. I appreciate you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Let's see here. Next question. Jill 1228. Thank you for the super chat. 187 to Icon, 553 to Odyssey. How was Utopia Hibachi? I didn't actually eat there.
I did.
Becky ate there, and
fantastic.
It's
actually one of the better ones, actually.
Yeah, she said it was really good. She invited Tony Diaz. He turned her down, broke her heart. But other than that, it was a great experience.
It's still current.
Yeah, and Hibachi's always a good experience. I mean, Jill, this could be Independence of the Seas. It could be Mariner. It could be Icon, Odyssey. It's always good. The food is really good there. Does Oasis of the Seas or any Royal Caribbean have a bowling alley? No, they don't. I think, doesn't Norwegian have them, or did they get rid of theirs?
No, they still have them.
They still have them?
Yep.
I think NCL is the only one that has them, but no, Royal Caribbean does not have a bowling alley. Let's see here. OMG, are you on Utopia now? Yes, we're on Utopia of the Seas. There is the bow of the ship. So there you go. Nemo, what do you like most on Icon of the Seas? I love the layout of the ship. I mean, the expanded layout, like the promenade, is absolutely gorgeous. Kevin Phillips, who's in the pub singer on there, he is a national treasure, even if he's not American. He's just an adopted American treasure. Can't understand what he says in Scottish, but my goodness, what a talented player. Really good guy. That was fantastic. Dueling Pianos is really good. I like that quite a bit. The destination elevators, I mean, you're not going to, it's not that exciting of a feature, but my goodness, it makes a difference there. Aquadome Marketplace, really good food. Wizard of Oz, amazing show, really, really good there. So there's like 17 things that I love that you only ask for one. Does Utopia of the Sea seem crowded? Good question. Embarkation Day always is crowded. Like on the promenade, you got to like avoid the promenade like the plague on Embarkation Day. But it really wasn't that bad. The rest of the cruise on it. And to be fair, though, I don't think we're at full capacity. My wife told me that we were at 5,000 passengers, so only 5,000. But I haven't admittedly, I've not been on the pool deck. Like I don't that much. Can't tell you like how crowded that was. It's just way too hot. I'm sorry. Guys, listen, I love you all, but I hate sweating. It's 1,000 degrees here in the Caribbean. I'm all about the air conditioning, no treble. Like that's just the reality of things here. But I have not felt like, my goodness, it's been overly crowded. I feel like it's been pretty well managed overall. Let's see here. Next question. Tony says, sorry I started a riot on Facebook roller being dining over booking Roller Railway before it went public. No worries, Tony. Don't apologize for that. Thank you for sharing on there. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Ooh, WCL says, to the person who just asked about a quiet pool on Icon, I would suggest a suite with suite sun deck access if you want a quiet pool. Even Cloud 17 was packed on my Icon cruise a couple months ago. I mean, that's fair. I wouldn't say, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, obviously you book a suite, you get suite. The suite area is always nice. I don't think you have to go quite that far. The big thing I think for a quiet pool is go in the morning. If you can get there before, if you get there like at 9 o'clock and you can roll out before noon or so, because you get to eat lunch anyway, it's not a bad strategy. Let's see here. Next question. Am I caught up on the super chats? Am I good on that? No. Oh my goodness. Terry Arter is going to murder me. Hold on, guys. I'm so far behind the chat right now. Ronnie again with a super chat. Hey Matt, is there an easy way to tell if an item or reservation has dropped below what I paid? No, you got to keep on going back in there and basically rechecking. I know it kind of stinks, but yeah. Ray, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Ray. I don't see a message from you, but thank you, Ray. Appreciate you. Lisa Beth Gaming, thank you for the super chat. Got my first cruise in 15 years on the Wonder for 15 years. Holy smokes. For 7 nights, we got the limited dining plan. Is Wonderland worth taking a nightly to try? Yeah. You've been on a cruise 15 years? Absolutely give it a try. 100%. You always recommend a rum drink. Can't remember what it is. Oh, that would be Kraken rum. Kraken rum. That's the one. Lava Flow with Kraken rum specifically. And big shout out to the Teresa McChange from MEI Travel in the chat. Jeff, that's not really a tour, but yes, that's exactly what I was referring to. Terry, there's Terry. Terry, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Matty Ice, recovering from our trip to Pittsburgh to see PNC Park, and it was pretty awesome. Here's to some shekels for your bail money. Hope to see you soon. Oh man. Fun fact for all of you. PNC Park is where the Pittsburgh Pirates play. In Pittsburgh, there's a thing called the Pittsburgh Parking Cone? Parking chair. It's a thing in Pittsburgh. They're weird. But they basically just put chairs in parking spots to reserve it. And everybody in Pittsburgh is like, that's Terry's chair right there. It's a thing. I don't know. But fun fact for all of you guys. Thank you, Terry, for the super chat, buddy. I'm kind of jealous you went to a baseball game. It sounds like a really great park there. Frank, I know you always recommend the Helipad for Sailaway. Does that also go for Utopia? No, you can't go to the Helipad on Oasis class ships. So in that case, you for Sailaway, the Solarium is a really pretty spot because it's right above Becky's room. You can just jump up and down and make a lot of noise. Yeah. Oh, there you go. But the nice thing is you're right in the front and it's an air conditioning, which is even better. I'd recommend that as your spot. If you have kids, then just pick a spot on the pool deck. I mean, they're all good in there. Mrs. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Will the spring 2027 Bermuda cruise be available for booking on or before my spring 2025 cruise? Let me take a drink of water. The answer is I have no idea. It's a good question, but we won't know definitively when those come out. Typically, Royal Caribbean puts out its new itineraries in November and December, and then again in like February through April. But when Bermuda fits into there, depends. I don't know. So the answer is maybe, but it also depends when your cruise is. I can't do the math on when 257 days is from now. But I would say it kind of depends on when it comes out. It's more the question. I know it's a bad answer, but truly I don't want to promise you one thing or another. Why Jenna wants to know, why did you kick me and Angie off after day 3? Let me tell you something. I love Jenna and Angie, who do great work for us here. They the first day of the cruise, they're very nice to me. Thank you, Matt, for inviting me here. This is wonderful. By day 3, they're like, I think Angie and I need to book the Aqua Theater 2-bedroom suite on a cruise to Greece, and we should also have our extended family join us. And I think we should have this luxury SUVs waiting for us at each of the ports, because that would be really good article of research. But things I did, listen, all jokes aside, Jenna and Angie, who were with me on the last sailing, they pounded the pavement, getting you guys all the stuff to get the ship tour out and a lot of different content you're going to see over the next couple of days. So while I do razz them and they gave me a lot of grief, they do really hard work there. So it's very much appreciated. Greg Steele, looking forward to your review on Omakase. We're going tomorrow. I know this has been postponed 2 times, but as Becky's genie as my witness, we are going to Omakase tomorrow for dinner, 6 p.m. We will be there. I'll be reviewing it. Finally, we're going there. So it's happening. It's happening. Next question is from Dave Wells. Dave, thanks for the super chat. Cruising Wonder next April. My mother passed away in February. I'm so sorry. And loves cruising. What does Royal Caribbean do for spreading ashes at sea? We did an article about this recently. Basically, number one, don't just spread them on your own. Just go to guest services, tell them what you're trying to do, and they will arrange a time and a place for you to do it appropriately. But I believe the good news, you don't have to be surreptitious about it. And certainly don't do this dump them out there. Talk to guest services. I believe that, there's an article we have. Where's Chantel? We did an article about this a while ago. Spreading ashes, sea. You got it? Yeah, Becky's going to post it in the chat. Thank you, Becky.
Welcome.
So, Dave, check out that article. It's a good primer. Keith, and sorry for your loss, by the way. Keith Woodson, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to Independence in April. My brother and I want a spacious balcony. What's a good area or floor not to be in a noisy area? Number one thing, Keith, you want to look for is look at whatever cabin you're looking for. You want midship, cool. Make sure that the deck above it and below it are other staterooms and not public spaces. And that'd be my recommendation for you otherwise. Deb says we save space in Chicago too, but it's not just chairs. You can use anything, brooms or whatever. I mean, there's a reason why the Pirates are so bad at baseball. It's got to be because the same people thought that chairs were a reservable thing right there. Let's see here. Hey, Nathan, did they change some of the drink mixes as of late? The lava flows don't taste quite like they used to. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't keep track of those things, but every time I've had them, it tastes fine. Slew Dog, thank you for the super chat. Son asked, you're watching the Cruise Nerd show? Oh my God. First of all, excuse me. Second of all, yes, accurate, but still, I'm insulted. I mean, listen, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to point out, like, geez, tough love tonight in the chat. Jenna and this kid's son, just, man. What are the table minimums in the casino nowadays? 15 is pretty much it depends on the game, obviously. Like blackjack is pretty much 15 across the board. Craps is 10. Roulette is whatever Tony puts down there. I think it's still 5 maybe as a minimum bet on roulette. So yeah. Cool. We're running out of time here, guys, but thank you much for joining us here. We've got to. I got to go research the drink mixes, I guess. Kylie, I'm planning a cruise with a toddler for the first time. I'm wondering if the specialty restaurants allow to go. Yeah, they're pretty good about it. Listen, if you bring your toddler, number one, a couple things. Yes, you can absolutely do that. Hey, listen, things are degrading quickly. Could we got to get out of here? Can we take the rest of our food to go? Yes, absolutely. Number two, though, I want to change your question. I've cruised with toddlers, both my kids when they were 6 months old. Here's what I would tell you. I'm not saying you shouldn't have dinner with your children. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to do that, cool, and absolutely you can do what your question first. My recommendation to you, though, and I was talking to this with Kyle and Natalie on board, is like double down on the nursery on board. It's a fantastic service. It's $8 an hour. I don't know what babysitter you're finding on land that charges $8 an hour, but go bring them over there, drop them off, go have your meal, and then come on back, or maybe stay later because the kid's having a great time and you want to go see a show. But that would be a good alternative. I know it costs money, but I'm telling you, it's the best money you ever spent. So don't assume that you're stuck with your kids for dinner. If that's a concern for you, that might be a good option. But yes, to answer your question, absolutely. If for whatever reason the rest of the meal is not going to happen, and you see the writing on the wall, absolutely can take the food to go there. Not a problem. They are more than happy to work with you on that. Let's see here. Haley wants to know, do you know when the menu will stop changing? The main dining room menu isn't consistent and it's interfering with our show reservations. We're going on Harmony in 3 weeks. Haley, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Why is the light flickering above me? I'm not sure. The main dining room menu isn't consistent for other show reservations. I would say this, Haley. I would say if you're concerned about show reservations, I mean, obviously, in the days before the cruise, the app will be updated to show that. And I know it's frustrating because a lot of times the app may show something as a menu in the main dining room, but then it changes later on. My advice to you is make the show reservations and then work your dinner around them as opposed to the other way around. Not ideal, but I think it's the best option you might have. The other thing, of course, Haley, is you could do, instead of doing my time dining, you simply do traditional dining. And the shows usually work opposite that. One more thing to keep in mind is that usually there are other opportunities to see the show beyond one night. So if it's not working for you one night because you really want to go to the dining room for whatever food they have over there, there's probably another time you could go to see the show on board. Obviously, it depends on the sailing and whatnot, but it's just some food for thought. Get it? I got a snort out of Becky. That was worth it. I got 2 or 3 more questions, guys. We're gonna head on out of here because Becky wants to go to the casino already. Yes. Let's see. I am not always a nerd, but when I am a nerd, it will always be a cruise nerd. Facts, my friend. Facts. RCL blog nerds unite. Absolutely. Love it. What should I order at the Pesky Parrot? I would recommend the peanut butter pina colada. Really, really good.
For peanut butter, I'm noticing.
I mean, I'm not one to drink really that much, but if I was, that'd be a good drink. Let's see. Dave O in the chat. Good to see you, Dave. Welcome, welcome. Mike, do you think Royal Caribbean will ever expand the Royal concept to other ships? I think so. I don't know how many other ships, but I think it's certainly something that they're looking at with a lot of ideas for the future. Is there bingo on the ship? Absolutely there is. Thank you, Teresa. Roulette is $5 minimum on there. Frank, do you know if the Coco Beach Club is good with allergy accommodation? Yes, any restaurant, and this is true of the beach club as well, is very good with allergy accommodations. Absolutely. This is the first thing they're going to ask you when you sit down there. Okay. Now we've got time for 1 or 2 more as I scroll quickly. Can you tell Royal Caribbean to stop in Key West? Can you guys stop in Key West? I hope it worked. Felix, a lot of people book back-to-back to Utopia. Do you have to get off after the first trip? Yes and no. Yes, you do. But basically, it's an escorted on and off. Like as we did this earlier this morning, you report to a venue on board the ship, and then they escort you off the ship and then back on board. So your last one's off, first one's back. Felix, we have a video about how to do a back-to-back and what it's like in the in our channel. I posted it like a month or 2 ago. Let's see here. What's the most quality food you can get on the ship? Good question. I mean, I'm gonna go with filet mignon. It's hard. I mean, lobster tail, I guess, like lobster tail at Hooked or filet mignon at Chops, or actually at Chops Grill at the Iconic Cuts, they have some bone-in fillets, and I'd say that's probably it. I would imagine. Colin, will you be playing beer pong on this cruise? I played beer pong on Friday, and tonight it's on at 11 o'clock. And I think my wife wants to go just to experience it. So I guess if anyone's down for some beer pong, actually, I felt like the oldest guy there. I felt like such a dad. There's all these bros over there, and I'm like, pardon me, can I please play some beer pong? Also, I gotta say, I love beer pong. In college, I played a lot of beer pong. I love beer pong. Can I be real with all of you? If you've played beer pong? Inevitably, the ball misses and it goes on the ground. And while this was gross in college, it seems extra gross when the ball falls onto the ground. You pick it up, put it in the glass of water that's designated to dunk it in, and if it lands in your drink, you're supposed to drink out of it. I don't know. I'm not a germaphobe, but that would seem like a bridge too far for me personally. But it was still fun. It's a good vibe in there. Sugar in the chat. What's up, Sugar? Hope you were doing well. And to the Sugar Cubes out there, and what was Crystal Light? Was that what we called Mrs. Sugar? Hope you're doing well, Sugar buddy. You're missed on this ship, buddy. Let's see here. Sleep Dog, you got all those free drinks in the casino and Pinnacle drinks, and you quit drinking, say it ain't so. I will just simply say that Kyle knows the truth in the chat, and the answer is don't worry, those drinks are not going to waste. Heard there were like 500 back to back. Yeah, it was a little under 500, they said today. Yep. Taisha, thanks, MEI Travel. Booked my trip with you guys. Awesome. Sugar, what was your favorite drink of the Pesky Parrot, and how do you stack up against Bamboo? It's completely different, or like a 2.0? It is completely different. It's significantly better. You'll go on there, Nick, and you'll be like, dang, this is a big upgrade. But I said earlier, the peanut butter colada, it's a pina colada with screwball whiskey in it. Really good. David Crawley. David, thanks for the super chat on Freedom right now and having the pleasure to be listening to Darla Fox. Oh, you just ruined my night, dude. No matter what I do tonight, to quote Sinead O'Connor, nothing compares to her, but you get what I mean. Man, I am jealous. Let me tell you, I might be on the newest ship in the fleet. I might have everything on this ship. We don't have Darla Fox, and I gotta say, David, do me a favor, buddy. Please, please, please say hello for me to Darla tonight. I'm gonna send her a picture. Hold on, we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna post this. There we go. I'm gonna send it to her right now. Hold on, stand by. You guys don't mind, right? We're not doing anything important. Darla, send a photo. Doing my live from Utopia, and someone on Freedom is coming to your show, and I am so jealous. Crying emoji, poop emoji. There you go. There we go. David, have a great time, man. I should be tipping you. I should refund your super chat to give back to Darla. I actually can't do that if I want it, even if I wanted to. But thank you. I hope you please request Alice for me. It's a nice love song. I think she'd appreciate that. Let's see here. Chris, I've been on Allure this season. Seriously, for Harmony this season, go see Columbus the Musical. It's a really good show. Really fun. When can we book Railway for future Utopia sailings? I believe it's only like 30 days out right now, but eventually it'll roll out to more sailings. But it's in the process of becoming available to more cruises as time goes on. Is there an Aquadome on Utopia? There is not. There is not. If one person in the stateroom gets the refresher package, does everyone else need to get one as well? No. And that, my friends, is the last question of today. Thank you so much for joining us here. Hope you all have a great, great week. Thank you for joining us here. I'm going to go enjoy the start of my second cruise on Utopia of the Seas. Second cruise this week, anyway, on Utopia of the Seas. Thank you so much for joining us here. Next week, we'll be live back at home. Womp womp. But I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you for all the generosity with the super chats. Thank you for all the great messages. Thank you to our moderators. Thank you to Becky Menken from MEI Travel for hosting us in this palatial suite where it's just absolutely stunning in here. But appreciate all of you guys. Have a good week, everybody. We'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.